Okay. So, if you're new over here, welcome to Floor Trusses. Over here, I just do my hair. Uh, so today I am doing my hair. Um, I am putting my hair in braids. That's what I'm doing. So I want to talk about some things that's been on my mind. And I know it's really, really late, so it's probably not going to be anybody in here with me. But this is the best time that I can actually do this live. So I want to talk about some things because I have been going through some things recently. If you are new over here, you will know. But if you have been over here before, my portion squad, you know that I have moved. I was in the process of moving and I have moved and I've talked about a lot of things that I have been experiencing with this move. This move was an unexpected move. I did not plan to move. My next move, that I actually, my next move was supposed to be buying my own home for the first time. Was my next move, but some things happened unexpectedly, and it has actually opened my eyes up to a lot of things that I did not know. So the main purpose of the beginning of this live is to talk about some things that I think that really need to be talked about because it's not talked about. It's not talked about, and I personally did not know these things. So like the more that I learn things, I want to share it with other people because I wish that somebody would have told me about these things. So I won't go into too much about what I actually got on, but I will say that it has taught me a lot through this whole process. So, something that what I want to talk about is rental licenses. So, something that I just found out in this whole process is that in certain states, rental license are required for you to rent a property out to people. And I had no idea about that. No. So I found this out when I went to go look, search for things, and I found out a whole lot. So I want to talk about the rental license. So first of all, I asked Google, what is the purpose of a rental license? And Google told me it is to make sure that rental properties meet building code requirements for building. So what that actually means is that to make sure that building is livable, that it is in good condition to be lived in. That is the purpose of the rental license. So in my research, I found out that certain states require a rental license and certain states do not require you to have a rental license to lease out properties. And what the big thing that it's crazy that I'm just finding out is that, like I said, a lot of people, a lot of renters don't know about rental license. And also a lot of landlords don't know about rental license, which is crazy to me, being though they are renting properties. So in my basic research and what I would tell you to do is do your own research. Definitely do your own research because there is a lot of rights that us renters we don't realize that we really have. There are a lot of rights. So I would tell you to definitely do your research and look up your local laws, as well as your state laws. So I did some preliminary research on the states that require rental license, and although that even though that I might not call the state that you are in, still do your research because some states don't require a rental license, but the cities and towns underneath the states, they might require a license. So the state that I live in is Maryland. Maryland does not require you to have a rental license to rent a property out, but the city that I live in does require for you to have a rental license. So though that I may not call your state on this list, I would still definitely do my research to look into it. Um, So a little bit about the rental license. In some states, it's not called a rental license. Some states it's called a business license. Some states it's called a real estate license, and a broker license. So some states call it different things. But what I learned about the rental license in the city where I live at is that if a landlord does not have a rental license for a property, they cannot charge you rent. So it is illegal. It is illegal all the way around. So like I said, currently I am going through a whole process and learning things. I am going through something, and eventually I will definitely talk about everything that I'm going through, but I'm not going to talk about it right now. So the states that require you to have a rental license, Alaska, they call it a business license. Arizona, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Hawaii, they call it a real estate license. Kansas, it's called the landlord license. Louisiana, it's called the business license. Maine, Missouri, it's called a real estate broker's license. Nebraska, New Hampshire, it's called a real estate license. New Jersey, North Carolina, it's called a real estate license. North Dakota, it's called a broker license. Ohio, it's called real estate license. Oregon, Rhode Island, Utah, it's called a business license. Vermont, it's called a business license. DC, it's a basic business license. American Samoa, it's called a biz license, BIZ license. And Guam, it's called a business. So although I may not have called your state, I would actually still look into the local laws of where you live at, because it could be the local laws could require the property to have a rental license. Like I say, I live in Maryland. Maryland does not require landlords to have a rental license, but in the city where I live in, you have to have a rental license. So those are the things. Those are the things that uh, I wanted to talk about in this live. I wanted to get that point across first because I'm learning a lot in this whole process. I wish somebody would have tapped me on my shoulder and was like, "Hey, sure that your landlord has a rental license." But yeah, it's very important. So, and I have been a renter for 26 years and I did not know. And I know, like, yeah, 26, it's time for me to buy a house. And it definitely is. And I am about to go through the whole process of doing that really, really soon. So, in my 26 years of renting places, I have rented 3 apartments, 1 townhouse, and 3 houses. So yeah. So, but definitely that's the portion of this live. Just do your research and look into your rights, because as a renter, even though you might not feel like you have rights, you definitely have rights. I would go to the same place where they file the eviction, go to that courthouse and talk. If they have lawyers, they have free lawyers that you can talk to and let them know your situation, and they tell you everything you need to know. Like I said, I didn't know about the rental license, but I went down to that exact courthouse, and a lawyer, like, okay, well, if the landlord doesn't have a rental license, they can't charge rent. And I'm like, oh wow. So they pointed me in the right direction to find out if my landlord had a rental license. And I'm not going to talk about what I found out now, but that will be in a video, a story time, really soon. So yeah, that's the portion of the live that I want to talk about. That's the information part. So the other part is talking about the worst apartment that I ever lived in. So, like I said, I've been renting places for 26 years, and I have a worse apartment I lived in, and I have a worse house that I lived in. So the worst apartment that I lived in, and as I'm talking, I'm gonna get my hair done. I'm doing hair. So the worst apartment I ever lived in was the second apartment that I ever rented. Um, so when I turned, and I'm looking in my mirror here to see what I'm doing here. So when I turned 18, I left my mother's house. I went out on my own in my first apartment. I rented with my with my so I have oh I have five children, by the way. I have a 24-year-old, I have a 22-year-old, I have a 6-year-old, and twins that are one, actually about to be two in March. Five children. So when my children, well, not my younger children, before I had children, this would be my second child's father. Um, so we apartment together. That was my first apartment when I turned 18. I was very excited. Um, Things didn't really work out the way I thought they was going to work out. But from there, I went to go live back in with my mother. I went to go live back in with my mother, and then I was 19, I believe, and I went to go live with a guy. That's a whole nother story time for another day, but it was a horrible experience. And after that experience, I wanted to get back out on my own again. Um, so I looked up houses. And at the time we had like a guides or whatever, and I looked up places to live, and I seen an apartment complex that looked pretty decent or whatever. So I called them to schedule and go in. I talked to them. So the first red flag that I wasn't really aware of is that the um the apartment was in a really bad neighborhood, and I wasn't aware bad neighborhood because the apartment was off of like the Beltway. So when I went there, I had caught a cab or something. I came off the Beltway, and then the apartments was like right there. So I didn't really see like the whole neighborhood, like it was a really bad neighborhood. I didn't see any of that. In the apartment complex, they looked pretty decent or whatever. And when I went into the rental office, I happened one of the ladies that worked in the rental office, she used to I we used to go to school together. So, hey, how you doing, girl? Well, I'm here to get this apartment, blah, blah, blah. She's like, okay, yeah, yeah. And I really think because I had no credit or anything, matter of factly, I had an eviction on my record at that time or whatever, because for my first apartment with my son's father, I had an eviction. So I really believe that I got into it because of the young lady that I went to school with. So, okay, right. Time go by, fill out the application, I get approved. I get approved, which was really, it came right on time and when I needed it to come. So, I moved in. So when I was telling my mom about the apartment, she asked me about the address and everything, and I gave her my address, and my mother was like, yeah, that's a bad neighborhood, and this, that, and the third. I'm like, no, it seemed pretty cool. And I'm not really knowing exactly where I'm at. So the apartment seemed pretty decent. It was some things about the apartment that I noticed right away. One of the things is that um, my closet, my room closet, I didn't have a closet door. It was a little minor issue, but what I'm saying, it was something that I noticed. So it was an issue. And then I had a patio, and my patio door didn't really close properly. Like it was kind of like hanging off of the hinges for real. So okay, that's enough, but I'm just happy to have my own place. So time go by or whatever. So I'm putting in, maintenance requests, and nobody is getting back to me about my issues. One day I see a maintenance guy outside, and I tell him like, hey, I'm in apartment so and so, you know, um, my closet door, I don't my closet door is hanging off, can you, come and fix it? So he looked at me and he said, right now we are dealing with heaters heaters and heater situation. So one's important, your closet door or heat. So I'm looking like, I don't know, I guess the heat or whatever. So okay, all right, this was minor things. These were minor things. So I'm like, okay, all right. That was a little rude, but I was young. I think I had to be I had to be like, I want to say I was at least like 20. I had to be at least like 20. So, I'm like, okay, that was rude, but okay. All right. So when I found out the neighborhood I was living in, so I looked around, you know how you walk around a neighborhood, and once I found out the neighborhood I was living in, I was very, very shocked. I could not believe that was the neighborhood that I was living in. But again, like, this is what it is. I'm still happy to have my apartment. I'm happy to be out on my own. I'm just happy. I'm happy. So, okay. All right. So, when I noticed like how bad the neighborhood was, so I bought a little plant. I'm moved into my nice little apartment or whatever. So I'm like, I want to try my hand at plants. So it was like a little tiny plant. It wasn't even that big or anything. So I bought the plant or whatever, and I'm trying to get sunlight to the plant and or everything. So I sit the plant outside on my little patio, and it wasn't even a patio actually. It was more like it reminded me of like a jail cell or something, because it was like you go outside and it was like ground or whatever cement, but then it was like full walls surrounded, like the walls were surrounding you, like I don't know what type of patio that was. That was the only type of patio I ever seen that way since I ever lived in any other place actually. But anyway, like I said, I'm happy. I'm happy. This my spot, whatever. So I put the plant outside, getting some air. I'm just cleaning up, and then I goes back. It's nighttime, whatever, to bring my plant out and back in the house, and my plant is gone. Somebody stole my plant. It was just a little teeny tiny plant, like. So that's when I realized, like, okay, all right, this is not the best of neighborhood. So, okay, so time went on. Um, and one thing about my apartment that I loved at the beginning is the fact that I lived right next to the laundry room or whatever. So I would just step out my house and walk around the corner and the laundry room was right there, which was convenient for me. I love that. But I think this was probably, I want to say at least about almost a year into me living here. It was some other things that I noticed of the apartment, like the type of people I was living around. So I am a type of person that I work. I work. That's what I do. Like I don't hang out. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Especially at that time, around that age, I was more focused on providing for my children. That was my whole thing. I need to go to work. I need to provide for my children. So I'm a worker. I go to work. I don't do a lot of socializing with people, because I don't really like a lot of people in my business, for one. I'm a very private person. So, like, yeah, and I noticed the type of neighborhood I was living in. Um, yeah, people didn't really take too kindly to me minding my business. So, needless to say, like, I don't think that a lot of people, and at that time I was 20, so I don't think a lot of people liked me or whatever, or wanted to get to know me. I don't know what it was, but I felt a lot of animosity, a lot of hate. I felt a lot of hate. Um, and I could not understand why. But at the same time, like I say, I'm a person, I mind my business. I don't have time for the foolishness. I go to work, I come home, I take care of my kids. Like, I don't have time for all that gossiping, standing outside, and I don't have time for none of that. So I feel like that the neighborhood that I lived in, it wasn't really conducive to that type of attitude that I had. And at that time when I was 20, um I also carried myself in a very high regard. So needless to say, I believe I felt a lot of I felt a lot of hate. I felt a lot of hate. But I just, I just and I knew that it was hate because I remember my brother had came over one time or whatever, and he was telling me like the young ladies around there was really trying to get at him. Wow, that's crazy. Like, and my whole thought was like, okay, but what if I had a boyfriend? Like, they would be trying to get at my boyfriend like that because they didn't know that was my brother, of course. They had no idea. So, yeah. But anyway, that was just minor stuff or whatever. So, anyway, like back to this laundry room. So, I thought it was a really cool that I lived around the corner from the laundry room until the laundry room flooded, and it flooded into my. And I think the first time it happened several times. The first time it happened, I think I was at work and I came home to my house, my apartment being let out. So that was like really severe. Like my furniture damaged and the carpet got damaged. They had to come and the whole carpet, and it was a lot. It was a lot. The first time it happened, it was like, okay, all right, things happen. I do live right next to the laundry. But after the fifth and the sixth time that it happened, I was over it. I was over it. When I say the fifth and the sixth time, I mean like the fifth and sixth time the laundry room overflooded into my apartment. So it was so bad, whereas though that one time when I remember it flooded or whatever, and when they would come remove the carpet, they would remove the carpet, but they would keep the same padding. The same padding would be on the floor, whatever, and they would bring heaters to try to dry the carpet out. Um, and I remember they didn't do anything to the walls, they didn't treat anything. And I remember it was so bad at one point, whereas though because it was so much moisture and water in the walls from the apartment constantly flooding from the laundry room, that a mushroom mold was growing out my wall. Um, so I was talking to different people, whatever, and I was really, really young, very young and naive. But I was talking to different people, and one of my neighbors who happened to be my she was actually my daycare provider. She was like, "Well, call the corporate office." So I called the corporate office or whatever, and I told the situation and everything, and I was told to, I think I asked the property manager to change me to a different apartment. So the property manager, well, if in order for me to change to a different apartment, I would have to like requalify or apply for a different apartment all over again as if it was a new apartment. And I'm like, that's crazy because this is an issue that this is your issue. Your laundry room is flooding into my apartment, causing damage to my furniture, causing my life to be crazy. And you telling me I gotta apply for apartment all over again. So I remember one of the times that the apartment flooded, and every apartment flooded or whatever, like it stopped everything. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't do anything that I needed to do for myself because like I got all this water and now it's cement and stuff all over the floor, so I can't do anything for myself. So I remember when I asked for another apartment, so she came down or whatever to, I guess, start the process for me to apply for another apartment or whatever. So she comes down with a video camera. And the flood happened right in the middle of right before I got a chance to wash dishes. So she's video record and everything around or whatever. And she, it's dishes in the sink, of course, because I didn't have time. 'Cause your laundry room flooded into my apartment once again. So I didn't have time to wash the dishes. So she said something about me not qualifying for another apartment due to housekeeping because it was dishes in the sink because I couldn't get to the dishes because your laundry room flooded into my apartment. So yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. I went through a lot of traumatic stress with that apartment. I think how many years did I stay? I stayed there for a long time because of the fact it was cheap. I didn't want to live there. I went through a lot, but it was cheap. I could afford it. Um, it was so much that I was going through around that time. Like, oh my goodness, like, oh my goodness. I remember really, really struggling, really, really bad. I remember getting eviction notices, like having eviction notice taped to my door, and by the grace of God, like God is so good. When I tell y'all God is so good, God is so good because every single time that I had an eviction that was scheduled, every single time, by the grace of God, money always came through. It always came through, like every single time. So I know that was God. Like I was going through a lot, and the reason why I was going through the evictions, I remember now. I was going through the stuff because my first apartment, the one that I had with my kid, my son's father, yeah, the eviction I told you guys about. Well, they took me to court, and they started my wages. So once they started garnishing my wages, it took money from me trying to pay for my apartment where I was currently at. So yeah, I it was a lot. It was a lot, but that's got to be that was the worst apartment I ever lived in. I think I stayed there, I want to say about 5 years. I think I was there about 5 years. And when I finally left, it felt so great. It felt so great. So yeah, I went through a lot with that apartment. So that was the worst apartment that I ever lived in. But even looking back at it now, if I'd known like a a lot more, then maybe the experience wouldn't have been so bad. But yeah, in life you live and you learn. And now I know like if you living in unlivable conditions, yeah, reach out, get some help. It's places there that's gonna help you because nobody should be living like that. I don't care how much rent is, I don't care what your situation is. Like nobody should be living like that. Like and furthermore, like mold and mildew is a risk to your health. Like it's a risk to your health. Like nobody shouldn't be living like that. So, but yeah, that's my little story time. That is my story. What? It's 30 minutes. I thought that story time was gonna take a long time. So, but yeah, definitely, definitely keep in mind about the rental license. Definitely keep in mind about the rental license. Search it up in the state, in the city, the town where you're at. It's like these landlords, they be thinking they getting away with a lot. They be thinking they getting away with a lot, and I get it. You know, as somebody that can be a potential landlord one day, like I get it. I get it. It's all about money. You trying to make money, residual income, income coming in. I get it, but make sure that the living condition is good enough for somebody to live in. Like I wish I don't think it would ever happen, but I just wish that we as people would stop putting money before people lives. You know what I'm saying? Like I get it. We want to make money. We want to get ahead and I get it. But when you putting people's lives in danger, like you jeopardizing their safety, like your moral compass should come into place somewhere. Like, what am I doing? Like you got children living in houses with lead poison. And then like it's just so much. I could talk about so much. I could talk about so much, y'all. I really can, but I'm not like I'm really not. But like just look into your laws. Look into your laws, and even if you feel a way like, hey, like um I can't really pay my rent on time or my rent is late, like you still should not be living like that. Like you still should not be living like that. So definitely reach out to find out your local laws, see what's going on. Because yeah, the things that I found out, especially about the rental license, like that's really big for me now. That's really, really big for me now. And it is so important because rental license is the reason why they have these rental licenses into play, and like these lands, and even if you're a landlord or whatever, you still got a chance to, if your tenant find out that you ain't got your rental license, don't it's not the end of the world. Just go ahead and go through the steps and get your rental license. It's not that hard. Fix the things that need to be fixed and get your rental license. Like it's that easy. It's that easy. It's not the end of the world. Like, yeah. Now, if your tenant finds out you don't have your rental license and you don't fix the things that need to be fixed, then from what I'm hearing, it could get very costly for you. Very costly. So you would want to fix these things and just get your license. I mean, just get your rental license and yeah. But yeah, that's all I really want to talk about. And I thought that would be finish my hair. So mhm, see how much I got left. So this is my first time putting mini braids in my hair. Mm-mm. And I will not lie, I miss my braids. I miss my braids. My box with my synthetic hair. It's a big difference, but it's gonna get. I'll get used to it. I'll get used to it. I'll definitely get used to it. I think the last time when I did my hair with the synthetic hair, I did box braids. I think that um, not that I braided them too tight because I never braid my hair tight, but I think by me doing different styles and pulling my hair up, I think that it weakened my hair. And also, I think that the synthetic hair, whatever chemical that they make the synthetic hair with, I think it rubbed against my thin my hair out or whatever. So I'm hearing the best way to grow your hair is to do like mini braids with your own hair. So we're going to see. Like it's definitely a big difference. I have been doing these braids for a month now. And only because I have so much stuff going on. Like I moved. So yeah, then I moved, and then once I got here, then it was a lot. It was a lot. So I haven't really had time to really focus solely on my hair. But I am happy that I am almost finished. So I can begin to wear my hair out. So I've been wearing my head wraps to work lately. So it'd be nice to have my hair all finished. And like this part right here, it's like, oh, I don't know. I guess I just gotta get used to it. I just gotta get used to it. I'll be alright. Just want to see like if it helps my hair to grow. how much has 36 minutes? Yeah, well, I'm just doing many braids here. So this will be the first time that I'm wearing my own hair in braids. So and as I'm doing my hair, I am cutting, I am dusting my ends. And we're gonna see. This is I gotta get over here. I want to finish up my video so I can get a video out. I haven't had a video in like, yeah, 1 month. Yeah, it's just been so much move, but I'm so glad to have it all over and like I have so many things I have to do. I have to do my Geritol up. I need to do that. I have to do an Amazon haul. My Amazon package is right here. I need to do that. I have a lot of videos I need to get done. A lot. But I am happy to have videos to be able to do. Like, yeah. Hmm. 40 minutes. Let's see, like this. I hate when I don't have no hair right here. That might be too much. I'm almost done. Mm-mm. Have 3 more braids. What time is it? It's 1:15. 1:15. Okay. Oh, for the like. Oh my goodness. Thank you. I already talked about what I was going to talk about, so I don't have anything to talk about anymore. So I'm thinking I might go over and do a TikTok live. I never, I did a TikTok live before, so I don't know. I'm just a little nervous. Yeah, I think they really gonna ban TikTok. I hope not. I hope TikTok is very nice. I didn't think I was gonna love TikTok, and I'm over on YouTube talking about TikTok. I know, right? But it is really a nice platform. But YouTube showed me more love, though. I will say that. I will say that. But I have more interactions on TikTok. But my YouTube family show me love, and I'm almost at 1K. They can't believe it. Like, I actually cannot believe it. Just thinking back to when I decided to start YouTube, like, and now I am still to 1K. So close. I can't believe it. But I learned so much. I learned so much. Oh, I'm starting to struggle now. I hope you guys can hear my stomach. I did. I ate. I don't know why my stomach growling like this. Mm, mm. Alright, time to put this in a video. I'm talking about going live. I need to carry my butt to sleep. That's what I need to do. I'm up at 1:20 in the morning, like I ain't gotta go to work in the morning. Mm, 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 mm. But if I can get my hair done, I will be so happy. I will be so happy. Oh, oh, I didn't even talk about the mice in that apartment. Oh my goodness. Mice was horrible. The mice was horrible. Like I never seen. Mm-mm-mm. How I skip all over top of the mice part? That was the worst part. Like, but I did talk about that in another live before. But well, another video before. But yeah, the mice was horrible. Like, yeah, they were horrible. I remember I was asking like my mom and what can I do about the mice, and somebody said something about peppermint oil deters mice. So I'm thinking, okay, cool. They deter mice, but they kill them. So I put like peppermint oil on a cotton balls and I put them all around the house or whatever. Oh my goodness. The only thing that peppermint oil did was make them go crazy. So now they was walking around real slow around the house. Like usually mice, they scatter, they run, like that. No, these mice was just like it was on lean or something, just walking by, just like the peppermint oil. I think it made it worse actually. It made it worse. Like yeah. But the mice in that apartment, they would just come right under the door. Like just come right under the door. I'd be in the room. Yeah, I was afraid to have company. They would just come right through underneath the door like it was nothing. Like mm-mm-mm. All my kids' cereals, I had to put them in like containers and stuff because they was mouse turds everywhere. Like I never lived in a place with so many mice in my life. Like it was just I think they had like a mice infestation or whatever. And the apartments was like it was a lot of woods by the apartment. So that's probably why the mice were so bad, I suppose, or whatever. It was horrible. It was horrible. Like, yeah. Yeah, I don't know how I forgot about that part. That was like, and I would call maintenance. I would, get on the extermination list, and they put like little sticky pads down, and they would just walk all around sticky pads and never get caught on the sticky pads. But now that I have dealt with mice after that or whatever, but not to the degree. Um, the traps that work the best for mice is the snap traps. They work wonders. Like, yeah, put them in the areas where you seen the mice at, and I'm telling you, caught. They will get caught. Like, yeah. But I've never lived with mice like that apart. Like I lived with mice in that apartment. Like that was bad. Like it was really bad. Like I said, I stayed so long because it was cheap. It was cheap and I could afford it. Like, yeah. Barely could afford it, but I could afford it. I think the rent was when I first moved into that apartment, I think the rent was 570. And the apartment was really big. It was like a three-bedroom apartment. Um, so my kids had their own rooms. So like, yeah. Mm-mm. But I never sent my children outside, although they snuck outside anyway. They definitely snuck outside, but I never let my children go outside because I remember when I first moved around there, I heard a little girl talking outside. I don't, the little girl had to be, she looked like she was maybe seven, I want to say 7, 8, but She was walking around and she was like, I ain't washed my A today. I ain't gonna say the whole word. And I had to do a double take and I looked and when I seen how little she was, I was like, oh my children ain't never coming outside. But little did I know my children was sneaking outside. Like, yeah, that's another story time about dealing with teenagers. Like, oh my goodness. I definitely have some stories to tell. Teenage boys. Like, but I'm gonna save that for a different story time. Um, yeah, yeah. It's crazy to me look back at my older kids, and now I have decided to start all over again. Um, Looking back, like I didn't think I was going to survive through the teenage years. Now, one of my sons, he was pretty good. Like I didn't have any problems out of him. Like he was a straight A student. He went to school. When it was time for him, when he was old enough to get a little job, he got a little job. He helped, he took his little needs and stuff. I had no problems out of him. But yeah, like I said, a different story time for a whole different day. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Yeah. Oh, there you go. I got it. I think I got it. Oh, well, we almost at. I got one more braid. I think. I think I got one more braid. I gotta check. I need to do what I need to do. I will do that though. I need to do a question and answer. Oops, Bluetooth about to die on me. Yeah, I need to do a question and answer. I really would like to do that. Yeah, can't see. I cannot see. Oh, there. Okay. Hmm, I think I might be done. Oh no, no, I'm done. Uh-huh. Oh no, this is the last one. This is the last one. Yes. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it, but I don't know. It's just a big difference, though. It's just, I guess and this is the area right here. I could tell, like, this is the area where I struggle at. So, like, yeah. And so I'm just hoping that this area gets better. So we're on the last breed. So let me just thank you guys that are here and was here. And if you are here now, please like the live. Please like it. Like I'm trying to get to 1K. Like, yeah, I'm yeah, I'm trying to get to 1K. I've been seeing a lot of things lately, and I'm about to start begging. Like I'm about to start begging because it works for other people. Not begging for like me or nothing. Like I would never do that. But yeah, just please like the live. Please subscribe to my channel. Please help a struggling mom out. Please. Mm-mm-mm-mm. I seen this one lady. Never mind, never mind. But I have a sad story too. I do. I really do. So, like, yeah. This is my nice So I'm happy about my little content room. I know I'm happy about that. Yes, yes, yes. I got a lot of work to do, but I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna get it done, and I'm going to turn this room into my place. So, yes, 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 yes. I'm done. Okay, now I have to, I guess, finish my video out. And we almost an hour in. If you tuned in, thank you for tuning in my live. Thank you for just chilling out with me while I do my hair. Thank you for listening to my story time. And I hope that if the information was for you at the beginning, I hope that, you definitely take it and look into it. Um, because it's very important. Yeah, why is it sticking up like that? Why? Just really. So I'm gonna put some stuff in my hair and have it lay down because like I can't go out like that. But I do like I can do things with this. Like I can put it up like this, and that's really cute. I can do like two ponytails, two little space buns or whatever. That's cute. So I can do different with it. So I'll play around with it, but I'm gonna get up. How many up we got? All right, 1 hour. So I'm gonna wrap this up, you guys. Thank you for tuning into live, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I have a lot of videos that I will be putting out really, really soon. So stay tuned for that. Make sure that you hit the like button, leave a comment. Well, I guess leave a comment after the live is posted, I guess. And please subscribe to my channel. All right. All right, you guys. Take care.